Hi everyone, good day and welcome to Family Unbox with Lucy. It's such a beautiful day. It's been an amazing day for me. I hope it's been the same for you. I would like to talk to us about our life, our story. So your life, your story. I was born in a time where a lot of storytelling was being done. I believe we still have a lot of storytelling traditionally being done in our home fronts, in the blockbusters and all that. Life is about storytelling, and I need you to know that you are created to tell your story. This whole mass called the earth, this world, is the center stage where every one of us come in and we do our thing, we dramatize, we put in our story, our play, and we step out when the time is up, right? So you want to maximize the time to tell your story. You are the lead actor in this space of yours. It is your space, your domain. It is where you're called to influence and to create the impression that will leave a legacy even after you're gone from this earth. Now, don't make a mistake. It doesn't have to be anything grandiose like the grandiose things the people are doing, but you want to make sure that in your own space, in your own domain, in the area where you're called to influence, you're actually influencing. People go through life as if, they are passerbys. You are not a passerby. If you're listening to this video today, I am here to assure you that you're not a passerby. You're here to tell a story. And in this story, you are the lead. You do not have to depend on people to help you tell your story. You have to tell your story. The EP, we should know who the executive producer of our stories is, right? He is God Almighty. He's the one who's brought us into this domain. He's the financer of our lives. He's the one that gives us the privilege to tell our story, but we have the responsibility to go out there and tell our stories. Different actors come, they play their roles and they step out. Some people play it and they hurt us. Some people, they play it and they encourage us. But you are the main person in your story, and the responsibility is yours to tell your story. What story are you telling? Every day, it is our responsibility to tell a story that adds up to the holistic picture of our general story. One other thing you need to consider is the fact that there is a timeline, there's a time limit to the time you and I have to tell our story. Some of us tell our story up to the 100 years, some tell our story for 50 years, some tell the story for 70 years, and the expiration time, the end comes, you have to leave the scene. Other people continue with their storytelling. You are here not by chance. You're not a happenstance. You're not a mistake. You're not, even if you were conceived by what you call mistake. Is there anything mistaken on the face of the earth? Man may not have planned you. Your parents may haven't planned you, but you came here on the plan of divinity. You were divinely planned for, and you had to be here. You're here already. Maximize it. Wake up from the slumber that has kept you down, the pain, the regrets, or the limitations that have kept you down, the lies that has been told you. Wake up from all of those and begin to tell your story consciously every day. Every day is a gift, and every day is an opportunity for you and I to tell our story. What story are you here to tell? Your story, your responsibility. How are you telling your story? It is my responsibility to tell my story. It is your responsibility to tell your story. Generally, everybody who has passed the face of this earth had told a story. And listen, if you choose not to tell a story, you're still telling a story, ironically. So I am calling on you to wake up from where you have been, to begin to tell your story the way you want it told. One of the beautiful thing about this space that we are is you can wake up tomorrow and add another level to the storytelling. You can delete a part of the storytelling and make a newer story. Deleting wouldn't be that you can erode the past. Oh, probably not. The mistakes of the past are there. What can we do? But we can right the wrong of the past. We can make better the past, and we can make the future even far better than the past, right? So you and I has a responsibility. We have a responsibility to tell our story, and we should consciously, deliberately tell the story. Work consistently to tell your story. Is your story in the line of business? Go ahead and tell it. Is your story in the line of politics? Go ahead and tell it. Whatever story you have to tell it, and be conscious about the fact that there is a timeline to the time you have to tell your story. How are you raising the people around you? Are you a parent? How are you helping your children realize themselves themselves so they can tell their story? Are you making them tell the story you couldn't tell about yourself? I've seen a lot of parents who make their children do the things they couldn't do. You wanted to be a doctor, a medical doctor, you couldn't attain it, and you feel one of your child should attain that for you. That might not be the story of that person. That might not be the story of that child. So whatever is the story of that child, encourage them to find themselves. The better way to tell your story is to discover yourself. So if you discover you know who you are and what you are about, it becomes a lot easier to tell your story. Now, storytelling is not, standing and talking. No, it is about the things we consciously do. If you are an engineer, how are you telling your story every day? If you're a doctor, how are you telling your story every day? If you're a carpenter, how are you telling your story every day? If you're a plumber, how are you telling your story every day? Are you telling the story of love, of support, of courage and encouragement, or you're telling the story of hate and discouragement and pain? What are you bringing to the table every day? This video is to encourage you that if men had told you were not planned, you are, you are, what do they call them, unwanted pregnancy? Maybe. Maybe it wasn't wanted, but hey, you're here. You got to own it. I don't care what they say, whether or not I was planned. I'm here, man. I'm going to own it. It's mine. If they couldn't have bought me, I'm here. Then I belong to this space. Those that are planned, those that are don't plan, there's no emblem on the face of anybody that you were planned or not. So if anybody had told you anything, it could be the truth and it could be a lie. Whatever it is, keep all of that behind you and know that you're here for a purpose. You have to rise up to the occasion and take your place. Take your place. It belongs to you. I can't wait to hear your story, whatever story it is you're telling. Above it all is the fact that you tell the story to yourself and you're proud of your story. Your story might not be in a public domain. It really doesn't matter. But the story we tell every day impacts and influences lives around us. So I want you to go out there. Tell your story. Be proud of your story. Own your story. Whatever it is that you are here to do, do it. Knowing also that there's a timeline to the story. We got to be fast. We got to be apt. We got to be intentional. We got to be purposeful. We don't have to be wasteful. And we don't in any way have to pull down other people to tell our story. We tell our story graciously, knowing that at the end of the day, we would have been glad that we came to this earth, we impacted the earth, and we made our mark. Until I come your way again, thank you for having me grace your screen. This is Family Unboxed with Lucy, and I can't wait to hear your story the way you want to tell it.